So can you tell us how the Equiband works?
Yes, so essentially the system itself is comprised of a saddle pad. The saddle pad, and this is an example of a pony size, so it's not to large scale, as it were. So if it appears smaller, it is because it's a smaller size. The saddle pad is designed with layers of padding or material, and it's also ergonomically shaped so that it's higher in the wither area and again higher at the back of the saddle pad. Each pad has two clips, one that points down and one that would point towards the back of the saddle pad, and essentially what it involves is clipping the resistance band into either the abdominal or the hind quarter clip of the pad, and from there on, once the tension has been adjusted, the band itself will give a constant proprioceptive input, in other words, a stimulus in movement. The band itself is designed of a latex-free rubber. It took us about 2 years to get to the optimal consistency in terms of both tension and thickness. We'd worked with other bands or types of band before, so the human TheraBand, for example, but found that even though the tension might be optimal for some horses, the material itself would either slide or indeed the band would roll as it was placed over the coat. So in terms of using the horse's hair, so the coat as a medium, if you like, for the band to attach to the body, we found that this band came up to be ideal.
And was that through observing the horses visually, or was that through measurements, objective measurements with?
Both, essentially. We played with the different thicknesses, so the differences in resistance. If it's too light, the stimulus isn't, how can I say, effective enough. So essentially the band would slide, but you could see that it would provide a little proprioceptive input. And then we had a few samples that came back as being too thick or under too much of a tension, in which case, again, as you're going through movement, the stimulus needs to remain dynamic. And if the tension is, or if the resistance is too high, then that tension, again, would not be appropriate as a stimulus or an input. Okay. So trial and error over a period of about 2 years.
So a lot of work has gone into it.
It has.
Some very knowledgeable people.